do lose another tank.
They have the timing right now.
For Applewell, he's got enough HP to take the shot. It's a low roll. Should close it out here. Applewell, he cleans it up. That's going to be that. Tornado Energy 7 and 2.
While not having the resources to travel all the way over to Russia for the Wargaming finals, I was graciously invited by Wargaming UK to go to an event to see it live there, and that was Moscow and London, where World of Tanks aficionados, as well as the press and other company people and things, just watch the live streams and drink and talk and things. That was also the point where I finally put a face to the name of Fraser Nash. That's the person I've been talking to quite a lot of times, because I've been invited to World of Tanks things before, maybe for Gamescom, but I didn't go, mainly out of time, and I made my own arrangements. The event itself was held at EXP Leisure. It's a gaming bar, club, pub thing. It's going to be going under refurbishment, I think. I was told that refurbishments are coming. It's just off the Olympic Park, and it's allowed to have refurbishments now, because Olympic stuff decided to fuck off. As for the things that were there was a bar, and the live stream, and another bar, and a mural being painted for the World of Tanks, and a bar, and you can tell what I ended up doing most of the time, didn't I? They were very gracious enough to give all of the press people a tab, and for that, I apologise. Not necessarily on behalf of myself, well, partly. That must have got expensive, but also partly because some of the people decided to stay around. And turns out, even with my lack of drinking, I can still drink more of them, which is surprising as all fuck more than anything else. And now for a serious moment to talk about the event properly. The event itself was very much split into basically 3 separate sections. They had the main bar downstairs, which was the normal bar downstairs. The bar was open for normal times. But then upstairs you had the upper bar, and sort of its connecting adjoining room was where you watched the event. It was a live stream with a projector. It was actually very good. We were watching the European English live stream that was coming through. I'm not sure if it was any different to the American one. I had a brief look to the American one afterwards. It seemed like different commentators, so I'm guessing it's probably just an English-American and English-European, or English everyone else on Earth, or something, I don't know. But then also in the back room, in the gaming room, they had a set of, I'm going to say 30. All loaded up with World of Tanks, so you can have a play of the World of Tanks and all of things. And I didn't really play the World of Tanks because, well, I was too busy doing media things and drinking. But also one of the things, like I pointed out by Fraser, by the way, is the head of UK PR, if that alluded, was that MSI had a bit of a presence, was doing a bit of a sponsorship thing for there. And for that, I refer to notes. The MSI GeForce GTX 2017 had Windows 10 with the Intel Core i7 processor with a GeForce GTX 1050 Ti. It's basically my PC, but in the form of a laptop. More than anything, I was kind of surprised. I thought MSI was going to have a bit more of a sponsorship thing there than anything else. I would say it's alright, because it's basically what I have and recorded anyway. And then, from there, comes stuff! The first bit of actual stuff to come is the bag itself. The bag itself is the World of Tanks community design for 2017. It's just a fire with tanks and the World of Gaming logos and things. I don't mind having loads of bags. I've already got a bag to carry my camera gear in, because it needs to be quite durable, because I carry a lot of heavy shit. Then also, inside comes stuff like a coat, not a coat, a t-shirt with the same design on it. It's got the same logo on it, same as the bag, but it's a t-shirt. Basically things like this mean that I don't actually have to get t-shirts, because I get given them, which is not necessarily much of a problem. And the problem ends up being that I end up running out of trousers. And then we have a box, and in this box is a mug, a worldofgaming.net community mug with a bike with one of those mountain clip things on the side, which is caught up. Yeah, quite surprised that it's actually got a proper metal mug for it. A community bonus code for the Matilda IV7 1 Premium Day 1 garage slot. Basically a premium tank thing for premium. I don't know, I'm going to have to read the small print later, but it's a premium thing. And as I have to redo the World of Tanks video, because if you may have noticed, the video got all fucked up, because the full screen is temperamental for some fucking reason. I have to redo it, so I might not be using this. And you can't tell the codes, it's still covered. Ha 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 ha. And then comes the handouts from MSI, which first one was the MSI Gaming Series keychain thing. I don't really use keychains anymore. It's just the MSI sort of dragon thing on there. And on the topic of dragons, we have an actual dragon. We have an actual proper dragon thing. Ooh. Oh, that was easy to open. Yeah. Keyring dragon. Face the camera. Face the camera. Face the fucking camera! And that's pretty much all to say about the event. It was basically watching a live stream, but with a bunch of the media people. Although one thing that can be said was that one of the most fascinating talks I had, because of the Sir Fosh Jimquisition stuff doing its murmurings around, I did ask about, and it was quite interesting. For the invited community members that were actually there, there was a bit of, to use the word friction, there was a bit of contention in Sir Fosh's comments. Not necessarily how he said it, but in screaming that the tank was overpowered and all the massive rage against it. The best way I can explain it is saying that the whole rage that ended up going round with this sort of thing about the overpoweredness of the actual tank itself seemed to be almost kind of like hype. It just got into its own train and got cycled and cycled and cycled and cycled and cycled through until peak anger was achieved for a kind of minor thing. Well, minor. The most squared off opinion I got was a guy that I was talking to at the end of the night. I didn't get his name, but ended up spending a long time talking to him. And the main thing that he ended up saying was that the tank does have issues, and there are issues about this tank being overly strong. But the one thing he always wanted to say was that it's not impossible to take the thing down. It's not invincible. If you can play the game well, you can still take it down with relative ease. Yes, it's going to be harder to take down, but it's not going to be impossible. But that doesn't negate the first thing of it being slightly purposefully overpowered. With one of the points he was saying was about the machine gun ports, which is supposed to be a much more point of weakness, much more point of entry for the tank, but it didn't seem like it was, which is a big point of contention. Basically, it seemed that most of the players looked at the tank with an element of, that's a bit shitty, but not with the overwhelming anger that had seemed to follow it. And so that is it for the event and for the finals itself. It ended up being a 7-2 stomping by a tornado. I think there ended up being a few murmurs of going, how the fuck did the team actually manage to get into the finals? Because it was such a clear stomping. You can certainly expect more World of Tanks stuff coming along, and maybe more World of Warships, and maybe more World of Wargaming things coming along, because, well, it's actually quite good, and the company is quite nice and sort of things, and they gave me a tab, and I had a lot to drink. And so I'll end by saying thank you to Wargaming for inviting me, thank you to EXP Leisure for supplying the drinks and the chicken burgers and the chicken burger, it's just, that's delicious. And perhaps I will see you next year for more World of Tanks stuff when I'm not as shit at the game.